What can I say? It was motherfucking great. The movie that real DC fans everywhere deserve. Not these fake fans, DC fanboys that are going to dislike this video just because the title. Don't worry, if you're a subscriber, we're going to have a regular, heavily edited group review. I just wanted to come in before we get into all those arguments and off-topic discussions that we usually do. Now for everybody else, here's a huge disclaimer. I give zero fucks about Wonder Woman, or at least before this movie. She's basically the female version of Superman to me, hilariously overpowered and not relatable at all, and fuck Superman. You want another white savior complex thing? Just walk into basically any Catholic church. Matter of fact, let's just say I care about her now. Keep that in mind because a lot of these DCEU fans just praise everything. If you're already a fan of Wonder Woman before the movie, you're gonna have a little bit different bias than me. Mine was on the negative side. So when I'm saying something positive about this movie, it should hold a little bit more weight in your mind now. With all that being said, I think this movie is a game changer, and not just because it's a great movie, which it is, but because of what it accomplishes and the doors that it might open. This is definitely the first big blockbuster superhero movie with a humongous budget that's helmed by director Patty Jenkins, female, and also the star Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, also female. So that's unparalleled right there. And even if the movie was decent, I feel like that would probably open some doors that usually are not easily accessible. But because it's not decent, because it's way better than decent, it's going to open even more doors. And that's a great thing. The tone is way different than the previous DCU movies. It's not a world that just reeks of depression. There's actually fun in this movie, which has been severely lacking in the previous 3 installments. The mythology around Themyscira and the time that you spend there is really enthralling. I would have watched a movie just on that shit alone. The World War I aspect was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. They threw in a lot of stuff that I didn't think they would. It's not an R-rated movie, but they did try to throw some things in there like the horrors of war and stuff and tried to make you feel about wartime. They also had some great social commentary that was surprising, but I greatly appreciated it. They didn't need to throw it in there, but they did. Some people will just think it's all social justice warrior shit, but it was great and it was heartfelt, it seemed like. The finale was a little lackluster and it definitely fell into a lot of the tropes that regular superhero movies do. But there was enough going on, at least on the side, to keep it compelling. So I'm not gonna just say it was a garbage finale, but it wasn't as strong as it could have been. It seemed like BVS all over again, even though I will admit this finale was better than that one just because I cared about some of the side stuff going on. The performances were a lot better than I was expecting, especially Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, who's easily my favorite DCU character up to this point. His chemistry with Gal Gadot was actually believable, and I don't know if that was because of his amazing portrayal, his acting, or just because she's really hard to criticize in this role. If you know anything about psychology, look up the halo effect because she's a perfect example of that. She definitely had some parts that indicated both sides of the spectrum to me, but she definitely embodied this role. And even though she might not be a top tier actress yet, there was nothing in this movie where I was like, that's not Wonder Woman. She definitely feels like Wonder Woman, and she's probably the definitive Wonder Woman now. Connie Nielsen was great as Hippolyta, even though you really only get to see her for a little bit. They don't spend much time on Themyscira. But the other actors, I don't want to talk about them because that might give away some spoilers. The score was masterful, just like the rest of DCU, except for Suicide Squad. It's not on par with Man of Steel, but there's really no other superhero movies that are. Let's just say it shits on 90% of the MCU scores. And just like I think this movie would have fell flat for me if it wasn't for Chris Pine, I feel like a lot of these scenes that were heightened because of the amazing score would have fell flat for me as well. So I'm super glad that the score went perfectly with the movie. Great job, Rupert Gregson Williams. There's not too many flaws I want to point out in this video. I will mention the pacing and some of the CGI was kind of whack, but I'll leave my other criticisms, which aren't many, to our group review. Overall, thank you, Patty Jenkins, for making an exceptional film, not just a superhero movie. The DCU does not deserve you yet. Hopefully that will change in the future. Or maybe it just matters how you feel. You like that reference? I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 for the quality and a solid 9 for enjoyment, because I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. You want to know something sad though? Going into Justice League, Wonder Woman, the character I previously didn't give a fuck about, is the only character I give a fuck about now. Emotionally, that is. So hopefully Justice League is everything we wanted, everything we expected, everything that DC fans deserve. Because if not, the accomplishment that is Wonder Woman might be in vain. Yo, if you just peeped this video, hit that fucking like button. And for all you bitch boys out there that don't want to support these types of movies, you boycotted Ghostbusters, you don't want to see this because it's female-led superhero shit, catch a dick.
Catch a dick.
Catch a dick. If you didn't hit that like button,
hit the fucking like button.
But either way, this is Explicit Critics. We keep it real while other channels don't.
Actually, hit the fucking bigger button. Subscribe, motherfuckers.
You want to hit this big
bigger
button?
The better.
Big fucking button.
Ladies out there, hit me up.